Hello and welcome to Rotary and Serving Our Community. My name is Wade Nomura, and today we are going to be taking a look at Bakersfield and the district conference that we just had over there. With me today I have Sandi Schwartz and Jacque, both from Bakersfield, and they were instrumental in making that quite the party. So we're going to start with you, Jacque, actually. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about myself. I am a 9-year Rotarian. I am a past president of the Bakersfield West Rotary Club and currently an AG for Group 2 in our region of Bakersfield. Professionally, I am a marketing and corporate image consultant, and I'm also a college adjunct professor for our university in Bakersfield.
Great, thank you. How about you, Sandi?
Born and raised in Bakersfield, actually 4 generations Kern County. My classification is a nurse. I'm an RN, the last 41 years, the last 25 in home health and hospice. I'm 22 years a Rotarian, past president of Bakersfield East, and currently District 5240's District Governor Nominee.
Great, thank you. Now, what got you into Rotary?
Actually, I'm the stereotypical. I got in because my business asked me to reach out and start working in the community. I was a community educator for our hospice agency. And typical of Rotarians, we found our aha moment and we stayed in Rotary. So 22 years later,
Wow.
It's now my family.
That's great. You must have been one of the first women Rotary.
Actually, in my club, I was number 10.
Number 10, really?
I was the only time in my life I was a number 10. And proudly so.
How about you, Jacque?
I actually grew up with service in my family. My dad was a longtime Lion Club member, past president of Lions Club in Bakersfield. So I knew all about service organizations and growing up that way, and basically got to a place in my professional life where I wanted to give back to my community, and I felt that I can always do more with a group like Lions or Rotarians, bigger and better than what I could do by myself. Mm-hmm. And I had a client who was actually a Rotarian, invited me to a meeting, and I stayed.
Great. District conference. Why don't we tell somebody what a district conference is?
District conference for Rotarians is very important. In fact, Paul Harris had the first district conference. It was very important for our founder, and it continues to be that tradition today. In fact, it's a part of our bylaws, and I think every district's bylaws, to have an annual meeting. Combine that with a district conference. So it's historical, it's important, and our district, every year, it remains just one of the hallmark events of our year.
Good. And how about you? What do you think makes a district conference so special? And what are people missing out on?
I think one of the best avenues of our district conference, at least, is the relationships that take place, because our district is fairly spread out, and our conference allows people to see old friends that they haven't seen in a while and to meet new friends that they perhaps haven't met from other clubs in our district. But for me, I think it's a really nice come together for everyone to reunite with good friendships and continue the camaraderie that Rotary is known for, and that I think our district does well with.
Now, a district conference actually is the very first event that a governor who's in line to be a governor can actually move on and take action on. When did you get involved with that, as far as Jim Bell's year?
Jim asked me years before, or 2 years before, to be his chief of staff. So from the planning stage to the dream, to the implementation, I was a part and helped him oversee that committee that put the district conference together. So that was just a part of the duties as assigned for me.
And how about you, Jacque? When did you get involved with that?
With Jim specifically?
Yeah.
Probably about a year, maybe 8 months before the district conference. It was exciting because there hadn't been a district conference in Bakersfield in a long time. So I think there was a lot of buzz, at least in our local clubs, about how exciting to have a district conference in our own town when there hasn't been one in a long time. And Jim had met with me in regards to being the MC for his event, for the district conference event, and some of his thoughts and ideas, and I thought it sounded really fun and wanted to be a part of it.
Sounds good. Now, what unique things did you put into it? Because we've had district conferences before there, but most of the time it was organized and developed on the coast, I hate to say. So when we went to Bakersfield, it was a little generic, and I hope nobody takes offense to that, but then this one was quite unique.
No offense taken. I think anyone who knows our immediate past district governor, Jim Bell, it's all about fun. And what he really wanted to focus on was to make it fun. From the day People arrived, our sister districts, when they got to Bakersfield on Tuesday night before the event, all the way till Sunday. It was all about fun. And the second most important thing to him was to focus on the youth. And so it made it very easy and unique because we could bring in all of the youth activities, all the interactors, all the Rotaractors, our Rotary Exchange students. It was a perfect fit for what he saw as his vision for his district conference.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump into some of the pictures.
Sure.
I think the pictures are worth a million words here because you guys had quite a fascinating event going. First picture we have.
This is actually our Boys and Girls Club. At the time, the president of Bakersfield North. He's the zone director for all the Boys and Girls Clubs in probably California and Nevada. These were his, in fact, the girl in the blue polka dot, that's his daughter. And this is a music group called Music Fusion from the Boys and Girls Club. And they came back several times during our event to put on songs and to dance for us. And interestingly enough, they did not want any money for the kids. Their community service through the Boys and Girls Club, they got paid for their vocal lessons and their dancing lessons by doing community service. So this happened to have been perfect for them, a community service project.
That is perfect.
Mm-hmm. Well, those are our exchange students.
Exchange students. Yeah.
The gal on the far right, I hope in the picture, is a Rotarian named Rhonda Werner, and she's been in charge of our Rotary Exchange Student Program for many, many years. District Governor, then District Governor Jim Bell and his wife Donna are in the middle, and these kids come from all over the world to spend a year in our district. So that was fun for them, and they all got in polio shirts. So they gave Jim and Donna in polio shirts.
Right.
And I think one thing that this group did, the committee did this year, was to really bring a lot more interactiveness with the youth of our district to this year's conference, which kind of made it a little bit more special.
True.
The cooking class and we had an Interact District Governor that was implemented this year, and so there was a lot larger role that our youth played in this year's conference.
Good. Speaking of cooking class, you have a...
Well, that's who you see. The next picture,
Yeah.
the gal in the center with the yellow bowl was our Interact District Governor, Emily Wolf. And it was actually a skit on how to make a Rotarian. And so there was pizza dough and an oven and
Lots of spices.
lots of spices, a lot of spices. Anyway, the kids did such an amazing job that morning. It was fun.
It was
Great.
fun.
And then we have a picture here of Jim and Donna with a cake.
Yep.
It happened to have been his 69th birthday on the Friday night of the district conference. So this was a surprise to the district governor. We all met at the hotel, surprise to him, and they brought him a cake and we sang happy birthday.
Very nice. Let's talk about the Crystal Palace.
And I was going to say previously that I think another thing that made it fun was the venue that we have. Bakersfield, had Buck Owens come from Bakersfield and Merle Haggard and some of the country stars, and so the Western theme went really well. And the venue in Bakersfield, that's the Crystal Palace, is both a restaurant as well as a music and dancing, and I think this committee was able to bring that into the conference that made it kind of go with the theme, but also had a lot of history between Buck Owens, Merle Haggard, the country sound of Bakersfield, or the Bakersfield Sound, and allowed a venue in which people could actually dance, enjoy the conference, enjoy a good meal, and a lot of people got to experience something that's actually pretty unique just to our area.
It was definitely unique, yeah. It was a great place, but we had a great time there. So the pictures there with the statue.
That's actually, I'm not sure who the entertainer is,
Yeah,
but there are bronze statues
all over the
all
restaurant.
throughout the Crystal
I'm not sure
Palace.
who that is either.
That's part of the night that they presented all of the bronze statues at the Crystal Palace is the night that Garth Brooks proposed to Trisha Yearwood right at our Crystal Palace. But all of those are bronze statues, and I'm not sure I don't think that's Buck Owens, because
No,
I
it's
think he has a
not.
guitar.
Yeah.
But the ladies on the left are
It
from
could
our
be
sister
Gene Autry
districts.
with the violin.
It could have been. It could have been.
There's a lot of country stars that have statues throughout the Crystal Palace. A lot of history memorabilia.
That's right.
Elvis's Cadillac at the bar. Just some fun stuff that exists from a historical
Pretty cool.
standpoint at this venue.
But the ladies on the left of the statue are actually from our sister district in Korea. And the gals on the right, I'm not sure where they're from, but
That's actually the sister district wives from Mexico.
oh, from Mexico. There you
okay.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
They look like
Yeah,
teenagers.
they look terrific right there. They look like teenagers. It was great.
And then we have inside the palace.
Inside the palace.
And Howdy Doody in the middle.
Yes, exactly.
We actually got our district governor to put on a cowboy outfit
From Toy Story,
from
wasn't
Toy
it?
Story.
From Toy Story.
Yeah. So that's the inside, and there was dancing, and the dinner was fabulous.
Dinner was fabulous.
All with the Western theme. And
Woody. So to get our
Woody,
from
that's
Toy
it.
Story.
That's right.
So
That's right.
to have our DG dress up in costume and play the role of Woody, it's just little elements like that that just made it really fun.
So who did the costume, the outfit for him? Or do you want to give that person credit?
Oh, we
Oh,
want to
yeah.
give that person
Yeah.
credit. That happens to be
Yeah.
Nona Darling.
Her husband's
Nona.
in my club, so Nona Darling made that for
Oh,
him.
great.
Yeah. Nona and Jim
Crazy.
Darling.
Perfect, great.
Just more fun shots.
Yeah, next picture we have is the team. That's the governor classmate.
That's the governor classmate
Mexico,
from
Korea.
Mexico, along with past district governor Chung Sam-do, who happens to have been from Bakersfield, and he comes back every year as an interpreter with our Korean sister district.
He was from your club, right?
And it will be 20 years between the time he was district governor and I'll be district governor.
Perfect.
So I'm pretty excited.
No, you're not going to move to Pismo or anything.
No, Carlsbad, no.
Okay.
No, I'll
Because I
stay.
remember he moved around a little
He
bit
moved
after
around
that.
afterwards. He sure did.
Wow.
And then there's a
The-
picture we got of
yours
Jacque
truly,
there.
Exactly. There's yours truly and Woody right there at the stage. I actually had some fun. Jim didn't know this, but I had contacted Donna and just wanted to get some fun facts about Jim that no one else really knew. So I think it was actually Sandy and Donna that fed me some fun, creative fun facts about Jim that he didn't know was going to be told about him. And so that's what I'm doing is saying all these different things to expose him.
Yeah, they were good,
Fun
by
night.
the way.
It was a fun night.
Good
fun
job
night.
of research on that. Next picture is Jim right there.
That's our
Woody himself.
Woody himself.
No, I did take that picture, and I have to laugh about this because he's actually pointing at the big screen, a picture of himself there.
Only Jim.
Exactly.
Only Woody would do that.
Only Woody. Yeah.
Yeah. This next picture is actually that year's class of Bakersfield presidents on stage with me. So that's who that is.
Yeah. They did a couple of
Skits. And,
skits. Yeah, it was good, actually.
It was neat to have
Nice
the
job.
Bakersfield presidents do some fun skits.
Then the music itself was outstanding.
Yes.
Is that Kim McAdoo?
It is actually.
Kim
yeah.
McAdoo,
She used to
yeah.
play with Buck, and she plays with the Buckaroos and the Sound. Big country music player right there with a lot of different country
Great
bands.
voice.
Yeah.
Great voice.
Mm-hmm.
The next picture has some of the Rotarian youth. On the far right is Madeline Stringham from San Luis Obispo. She is actually an ambassadorial scholar, and she came back and she was a Rotaractor. Now she's a Rotarian. In the middle, in the red shirt, is Mackenzie West, and she was the Rotaract president from Bakersfield last year. And then Jeremy Ng, who's from LA5, who is very instrumental. What a fine group of young people for Rotary.
I think that was the closing part, wasn't
This
it?
is the closing part, and this was on Sunday morning, and Music Fusion, that's the group. They came back to close out Jim's event that morning. It's a great picture.
That was. And by the way, there was a lot of comments made about how the youth played such a huge role in that district conference. You did a great job on
It
that.
was fun. From
It
the
was outstanding.
MCs, we wouldn't let the old guys up on the stage.
That was perfect.
They had to be young. You didn't see me up there. So.
But you were giving the orders. I didn't
That's
notice
right.
that.
Marching orders in the back. There you go.
Great. But that was commented by quite a few of the international people also.
Oh, how fun.
And Mexico actually took that theme back. They wanted to replicate that.
Wow.
They said,
Oh,
we've
nice.
never seen youth involved with the conference ever. So,
Great
Well, they're our
idea.
future.
Nice.
Yeah.
We have to invest in them.
without a doubt.
Mhm.
Then the next picture actually was at a reception that you had that was organized. This picture here is the team from Mexico and Korea, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm not sure where this was taken,
Me
but
either.
That
beautiful home.
Was, actually, that was that patio
Oh,
arts
the
center.
park?
The
Oh,
park.
was
You
it
had
the
that
park?
courtyard.
The park.
At the Mark, Friday
Okay.
night's event.
Yeah.
I was back at Ground Zero helping with
Okay.
the audio for the next
Oh,
day,
that's
so
too
I
bad.
didn't get to go to this one.
We did get to enjoy it, by the way. It was
There
a
you
great
go. I'm
event
glad you had a good time.
It was very fun.
And I put a few pictures in here also. One of the pictures in the center, or the one we have coming up, is a picture of the district conference from our sister district in Korea. And this picture was taken with one of the clubs.
A club.
A club. And the clubs, each of the clubs have women dressed in special colored hanboks that represent
Beautiful.
their club. And they come in by busload, by the way. That's why there's 4,000 attendees for each of their conferences. It's amazing, but they come and go. They're there, and then all of a sudden they just disappear. But they actually have the events in theaters. They're so
Wow.
big.
They're so big.
Yeah,
They're so
you'll
big.
see that.
You know, you always know that you get more out of Rotary than you put into it. And for us to have relationships in Korea and in Mexico, I feel our district benefits so much from those relationships. And
Agreed.
look at this. I
Yeah.
mean, the tradition and the history, they're lucky to
Beautiful.
have us, but we are very lucky to have them. That's for
So,
sure.
by the way, that picture, that was the year I was governor, and then I had Frank and Scotty join me, and they didn't, well, Roxanne didn't go with me that time. So they put First Lady Scotty on my banner, so that's why she's standing next to me there.
I love it. I love it.
The next picture actually is a picture of Mexico, their district conference when we were invited down there. And as you could see, they actually did an event where we walked the city streets in San Miguel de Allende. It was beautiful. The parade leader was a donkey
Oh,
that had all the booze on top. So they did it right.
Follow the donkey.
Follow
And
the donkey.
Speaking of donkeys, the next picture we have of Jim there, yeah, he caught up to the donkey, got his fair share of
Oh.
drinks, but
I love his face in that picture.
face was
That's
good.
so
That's
cute.
priceless.
that was
is.
priceless.
How fun.
That's fun.
And then the last picture we have there shows the actual exchanging of the, it was the agreement for the sister
For the-
districts again.
For the next year.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
which was an outstanding, and again, as you say, those conferences really bring the
And aren't
groups
we
People
fortunate?
together. They do.
Aren't
They
we
really do.
fortunate?
They bring people
That's
together. It's
great.
wonderful.
Beautiful pictures.
So we got to do a tour of it. Now tell us a little bit about behind the scenes. How difficult is it to design, develop, and plan a district conference?
You know, when you want it to turn out well, you want to surround yourself with a great team. I have to tell you, we met every month for over a year and a half. And then as we got closer with any event, you meet almost weekly. All of the decorations you saw from the district conference were done in my house. I mean, we had a great team, but it takes time, and it takes a lot of everybody on the same page with the same goal in mind. And I will tell you, the team was fabulous, and all local. So you didn't have to wait for somebody to come up from LA. We pulled the whole local team together. And because we were so proud that it came back to Bakersfield, you know, I think that's another reason why there was so much effort into it.
And how much do you think the goal, the plan, the objective plays in the success of a district conference?
Look at our sister team who said, "What a great way when you added the youth."
Yeah.
The takeaway for me, that's probably the best takeaway, is that people walked away, you know, even during the glitches, even, you know, the times where you're sitting back there going, oh my gosh, nobody caught that. Nobody caught that. And the sister districts are so, they're front and stage, they're having a great time.
Yeah.
And you can tell, and when your heart's in the right place, and our team did, it just,
Absolutely.
and our district governor was totally pleased. So for us as a team, we were glad that he was smiling at the end.
Yeah, and it's usually what people tell you, the feedback that comes back. And when it looks easy and fun and looked like so much was happening and was all easy, then you know it's not easy. It's hard, and it takes a lot of people to make it work. But
Yeah.
if the people that went enjoyed it, they're still talking about it, they remember some element of it, and it brought people together, it's a success.
I think a lot of it has to do with the team also, because your team, all fun people. There's nobody.
Well, that
No,
helps.
seriously, there's nobody in there that was just throwing wrenches at things. No, you know, the guy that's always
Yeah.
complaining about something was never there.
Oh, if there were any disagreements, it never
No.
showed. It never showed.
But Rotarians like to have fun.
Yeah,
I mean, they do. I
absolutely.
mean, we serve a great purpose in our community, but also Rotarians know how to have fun and want to have fun. So it starts with that as a common denominator.
So a question would be, why are there only 10% of the Rotarians in the district that ever attend a district?
Well, I think your audience knows that we came from Bakersfield to drive over here today, and that was probably the biggest talk that we had. You know, I think moving forward, because I'm in the beginning processes
Right.
for 2 years from October, when it will be my district conference, our district conference, and when you only service a tenth of our membership, those are things that you really need to look at, because it's not inexpensive to put on this type of a venue.
True.
You need to make it relevant, but we have a young generation coming in behind us that don't see the relevancy of being together in the same building on a weekend, and very busy, and social media and Skype and all of the webinars and all of the go-to-meeting types of things, when you don't have to meet as a group anymore, as it was when Paul Harris started the district conference, when that's all that you did was to meet in a group. I think that is a challenge, and one that we're going to have to really think about. We have 2 E-clubs in our district. How to invite them. We have a member who's in Australia. You know, how does she get to the district conference? So we've talked about how we're going to make sure that there is that type of webinar so that they can be a part of it, and have them on like FaceTime or whatever, so
Skyping or
that
something.
they get to have the same input.
Good.
They're a member of our district.
Actually, Catherine's talking about trying to come for your event, by the way.
That would be fabulous.
She's looking forward
She's
to
going to
it.
be a speaker.
There you go. She would be
She
great at
needs
it, by
to
the
be
way.
a speaker.
So looking at the successes and the things that could have been fixed from the first Bakersfield one, what have you come up with as far as things you would want to change?
Well, we already know that October 5th and 6th will be back in Bakersfield of 2018. So it's 2 years from this October. I really want to look at doing a lot on Friday night for a social event. Saturday, I'm really looking at doing our Rotaract district conference and our Interact district conference in conjunction with our Rotarian district conference. Having the kids there, have them go out on a project with GoPros so we can sit on a live feed and watch their project. I mean, I really want to make it relevant. I really want to make our time together meaningful, so that the millennials do come and join us. And and maybe we'll just do a big project. Who knows?
Good.
Who knows?
Now, how about including or incorporating that international flair, the international partners we have? Have you put a plan in place for that, how that would work?
They will be there Tuesday night as per tradition. They usually come in on Tuesday, and I've already talked to the growers because they didn't get to see our big wealth of agriculture. So I've already talked to 2 of the growers. We're going to do the Council of Governors dinner, hopefully in a little town called Shafter at the Garing's house.
Oh, great.
And they've already offered to do that for us. So I want them to see more of Kern County, and hopefully integrate them as a part of the district conference as well. So
Yeah.
Good. By the way, their house is large enough to do the whole convention,
I
whole
know.
conference there. They've
You've
got a
been
massive.
there.
I have been there. They've got a beautiful home.
well, Garing Ranch would be a nice thing
That
on
would be.
October, Thursday evening in October. It'll be a beautiful setting for them.
Very nice. Any field trips, events like that you're going to be incorporating?
Well, I really want to do a project. I really want to have Saturday morning project, at least with the Interactors and Rotaractors. And so I've asked, Habitat of Humanity is one of our local projects, and we go put roofs on the weekend. So if we can get that organized, I mean, I'm just really in the planning phase of doing it. But I really want it interactive. And I think that's where you pull the millennials in, is when you're actively doing something.
True.
We've talked about doing steps as a part of the district conference. That's out of the box, but a way to do those projects and hallmark the things that we don't talk enough and celebrate
True.
enough of.
True.
So those are just in the planning phases for now, but I'm really excited. If we're going to do this, let's make it meaningful and fun.
And fun.
Fun.
And fun.
Has to be
Now,
fun.
do we have Rotaractors, Interactors actually on your committee also right now?
We will.
You will?
We will.
Nice.
Absolutely. Well, they will be planning their own Interact District Conference and their own Rotaract District Conference. So
Nice.
they'll be in conjoining buildings over at the Convention Center there's a common hallway, so they'll eat with us, interact with us, but then go off and do their own thing.
Okay, got it.
So 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
It'll be tomorrow.
Okay, now,
be here
your
tomorrow.
chair, have you selected a chair yet? Have you thought about
I'm
that?
a very smart girl. I may look tall, but I'm a very smart, tall girl. And past President Kay Pitts from Bakersfield Breakfast, who was Jim Bell's district conference chair, is my district conference chair.
Oh, perfect. She did a
And
great job.
she's a by-the-book girl.
Great
She'll
job.
make it
Actually,
happen.
we invited her for this one, but I guess she was a little
Yeah,
bit
she's
busy planning yours, probably.
She's busy planning. Yeah, she better be back at the drawing board
Better
for
be
me.
working.
Yep.
When we look at Bakersfield and all the uniqueness that Bakersfield has, but you still have the coast. You have Santa Barbara, you've got Ventura, and you've got San Luis Obispo. How do you incorporate that to try and create that draw? Have you thought about that?
It's a challenge.
Because it is a
It
challenge.
is a challenge. It is a challenge. You start early. You start early. And if we're going to do the Interact District Conference, and we have Interact clubs that need transportation, if we're going to do steps there, then we have a different type of draw.
True.
How to incorporate all of that. And the difficulty will be maybe we won't have the draw that we want, but if you incorporate the kids,
Yeah.
and if you incorporate maybe doing our steps to end poverty as a part of the district conference and make it very interactive. And October isn't July in Bakersfield, so
Yeah.
there are nice evenings and a little
beautiful
warm
there.
still in the day, but cool off in the evenings. And you make it fun.
But I think you do have to make it meaningful for everyone, no
Absolutely.
matter where
You
you
do.
are. So
You have to respect people's time.
make things a little bit different. I think people get bored with the same old, same old, same old. So when you throw in some other things that kind of create differences and diversity in each one, then you attract not only people from Bakersfield to the coastal district conferences, but then coastal people to inland district conferences. So
Right.
you have to just make it meaningful for everybody in a new way, with a new flair that's a little bit different, that gives a little bit of meaning for everyone who wants to come. Because if it just becomes the same old type of situation, people are not going to respond well to that.
True.
That's
Plus,
true.
you also, as a governor, have
She's on the committee, too.
I can see that. You have the network of your presidents. And they
Absolutely.
will do a lot.
Right.
Well, thank you very much. I know it's a quick half hour. I spent a lot more time with you on this one. It's a great program.
Thanks so much
But
for having
again,
us.
thanks for coming over to
Yes, thanks,
Mountain.
Wade.
Appreciate
Oh,
that.
Absolutely.
I had her in the car for this time.
And with that, thank you very much for joining us. Take a look at Bakersfield. It's going to have one great conference come out here in a few more years. So we'll talk to you soon.